And this is why there is still conflict in that land today, because these people came in and took land that they do not have a claim to. This is why we see Gamal Abdel Nasser. He was the second president in Egypt. In 1956, Abdel went on the television and radio in the 50s and stated to the Ashkenazi, "You have left black and returned white. You are imposters and shall never see peace."
Israel and militants in Gaza have been bombarding each other now for 3 straight days. Other countries trying to broker a ceasefire, but so far no luck. And there's already considerable damage from strikes by Israeli warplanes inside Gaza and Islamic Jihad rockets inside Israel. Ian Lee has more.
Sirens blare across southern Israel overnight as rockets from Gaza streak across the sky. Palestinian militants have fired more than 500 in the past 4 days.
Achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing should be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
For your own research, these are terms you should research on your own. Zionism, Khazars, Ashkenazi. This is who Yahusha is speaking about in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. So when talking about all this, people love always asking, so what about this event with Hitler? I won't even say the name of it. You should know. You have to understand the elite's method of order out of chaos and understand what they were able to do after this event. And then, why this happened will make much more sense. I am not a denier of this event at all. I just know it happened for specific reasons that we are beginning to see the conclusion of soon, when they rebuild the temple and the Antichrist is claimed king. Anyways, after Hitler, it was decided that the Ashkenazi Jews that were persecuted in Eastern Europe needed their own homeland. Please note, I want you to understand that the slaves that were sent to a foreign land to do forced labor for 400 years that were still being oppressed never received any consideration like this at all. Just note that. And people, they get bothered when we even bring up slavery today. They're like, it's time to get over it. But after this event that happened, the world came together and justified a massive change. And the worst part of this all really, is that people actually believe that Yahuwah did this, and this is a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. And I'm making this video to clearly show that it was not. But again, using this strategy of order out of chaos, there was not many that could deny those who were now believed to be true Jews. So they could not deny them the right to their homeland. The Rothschild family donated the land they owned of what was known as Palestine at the time to the United Nations. The United Nations then gave this land to these converted Khazarian Jews so that they would have a homeland and would never have to face the kind of oppression and slaughter they were submitted to during the Holocaust, even though it was never their homeland. And thus, the State of Israel was created. What you have been given is the history of the second major hijacker in this Christian religion, and it goes deeper than just Christianity. But today, they use the Christians to support this agenda because the majority of Christians are just followers without discernment, and they feel that they are obligated to follow this agenda because they want to support Israel. But the true wickedness of their hearts are shown because while they support all of this, they persecute and hate the true Yahudim. And they don't even want to understand their plight, which is more biblically tied to the God that they say that they're serving. It's hypocrisy at its finest, and people will be judged for it. I have made a video that speaks about the plot twist that most people are not ready for in the end times. This lie is a big part of it. This whole agenda has been used in order for Satan to take control of Yah's holy city, rebuild the temple originally dedicated for Yahuwah, but Satan wants it dedicated to himself, which is why he will use all 3 religions that are tied to him. All the rulers of these 3 world religions are followers of the enemy of Yah, the created being in rebellion. He wants to use this people and bloodline to put his son as king, who will be the lawless one. And the thing is that everyone sees this and they know it. They know that the Jews are trying to rebuild the temple. They know that they just got a red heifer in. They know that they say that they're ready for the Messiah to come.
Wow, these look like the finest red heifers from around the world.
But what if I tell you that the Jewish dream to rebuild the temple is not over? There are things that are happening currently in Israel and around the world that clear out the way for the new Jewish temple. If you would ask the Jewish people if they would like the temple to be rebuilt, the vast majority of them would say yes. Out of the majority of Jews that would like to see the temple be rebuilt, there are certain groups that are very active in doing everything that is needed for it to be rebuilt. So some believe that when the perfect candidate will be found, the building of the temple will begin.
You can see them peeking out. They look beautiful. Perfect. They just look perfect.
Right now to build the third temple?
There are actually quite a few, and it just shows that God is giving the Jewish people kind of signs or an expectation that it's time for the soon coming Messiah. But there is a group specifically that has reestablished the Levitical priesthood. They just started a school a few months ago, and they have a registry for those who are from the Levitical line that they could come and be trained and be ready to do the service in the temple. They've also started a red heifer farm. The Temple Institute did with an Israeli farmer, and that was again with ritual purity, that they need to have a red heifer that meets Jewish law and has been supervised and doesn't have any white hairs. It's completely red heifer to be able to be burned, mixed with running water, and then used to make everybody ritually pure to be able to go into the temple.
I mean, right now, Jewish people just going on the Temple Mount can create a riot sometimes. So can you envision a scenario where they would allow the temple to be built?
No. A lot of the scholars that I've spoken to talk about how the building of this next temple is really going to bring peace to Israel and to bring safety from all her enemies. And so in that way, I can see that any maybe leader that would be raised up or somebody that would be able to bring the nations together, especially those who might align with Israel, that there might be some agreement that the temple could exist there and this person could be set up in the temple.
They know all of this. Everyone knows this in Christianity. But because they believe these people are genuine and holders of the covenant, that at some point, Yah will intercede. But this will not happen because those people are not in covenant with Yahuwah. And everything that goes forth with them will be about leading into the satanic part of prophecy.